Well, hello. We're here again, aren't we? And we love being here. I know. I say the same thing over and over again. I wonder if it's real. It is. And I'm very much here. And I very much love to be here. I don't know exactly what God is doing. Doesn't look like sometimes much. Sometimes it looks like things are happening, things are occurring. It's God's, not mine. I'm just the voice sitting here doing what I believe God wishes me to do and what I love to do and what I wish to do. So here we are. We require some wisdom. There's lots of ways that we can learn about dealing with things, and there's so many things out there to deal with. You know, some things are simple and easy to deal with, other things are harder to deal with. Um, you know, when I deal with clearing a property, I have to deal with all kinds of different things. And people go, well, I couldn't do that. Yes, you could. And it would be something you could do, but it would take time, effort, and energy. That's what it takes for me. And it also takes skill and understanding. I have some of that. But here's something you can do. You can create the beginning of a sanctuary in your very own home. You may not have the belief and faith to believe that your entire home could be a sanctuary. That might be a step just a little too far for you right now. So I tell people to draw a simple stick drawing of a house and just put at the bottom that the Lord's peace dwells here. So in other words, God's peace dwells here at the bottom. At the top, God's joy dwells here. And on each side, you can write God's hope dwells here. And what you will do is create just a little space, wherever that is sitting, will be a sanctuary space where you can truly speak with God. And God will hear you and know that you are speaking. But you will also feel the presence of peace and joy and love and hope and many other things that God will provide for you as you're there. So you're learning and growing to be connected, or you're moving further into your connection. Whatever it is, this will help. Here is a beautiful little tool that's very easy to create. Let's move forward. We're going to again do that thing of start healing me. Yeah. Oops. No, I did it again, didn't I? Where's my name? Well, maybe if I keep messing it up like this, maybe people will hear it differently. I don't know. We're gonna have some stuff up here eventually. We're still raw. We're still moving. We'll get there. We'll get to the story too. But that lady knows it's important, right? Everybody wants to know what that is. What twisted those beasties? Well, they're not even beasties. They're animals. They're a species altered in some fashion. That's what they are. Anyway, getting back to this thing that I like to do before we do that, and that is Eric at starthealing.me. Eric at starthealing.me. Eric at starthealing.me. And if you just reach out, I'll send you a link and we can chat. I'm just asking whoever is watching to share this. Right now, I'm doing this. I do have a Patreon, but I haven't figured out how to use it yet. It'll come. They may get slightly upset at me before it comes, but it'll get there. I'm looking at some avenues to make it a little bit more professional, but still warm and fuzzy, I hope, and I pray. So, moving on to the story, right? The lady is standing there, right? I mean, that's where we all want to start, right? What does that lady know? Yeah. You got to remember, we have a whole horde coming towards the city, right? So that kind of has to take priority at the moment, or does it? Maybe her information can change the whole scene. Mistress of Law, and the one that did live in the obelisk, both look up and said, "Story time, I suppose." And they started to talk. They said, "In a time far distant in the past, this place was a paradise. We wished, as lawmakers, to keep it that way. Yet there were those that with greed that wished the trees that grew tall. They wished to use the animals in ways that they were never meant to use. There's always those, even inside our groups, there were people. And they removed our safety net, and our world came into war and orbital bombardment, and then their black twisters came and walked upon the land and twisted everything. And now we sit in a desert, as you know. Most of our planet is a desert now. It used to have trees, some 700 foot tall. That sounds low, doesn't it? Nearly reaching into the sky beyond the limit, isn't it? But there they were. That is why we are so excited about the trees that are growing. But we also know the dark twisters and those that are been twisted by them will be back. We're not sure if that shield will hold. Not sure if someone will betray like we were betrayed. But we do know that that's what twisted those out there. And yes, we have attempted to bring them back to their space where some of these are. Hasn't happened. Magic, technology, understandings of the thousands of years we have attempted. This is all we can save from that time, apparently. These few. The rest are too twisted, too destroyed by whatever the twister did. One final thing we can give you is we have this, and the lady that had been in the obelisk pulled out a little tiny stone with something written on it. At that moment, both Douglas and the lady froze and looked at it and said, "I know what that is." "You do? We've never been able to solve it, never understood it. We keep it encased in light. As far as we know, it isn't active. It isn't. But we can save those out there. Well, some of them. Some will wish to stay the way they are. That we cannot save, and that we cannot let survive because they will constantly be a threat. All these people are leaving now." The lady said, "I feel them going. All of them that have come to explore this world are now realizing that they will never do that, and they're leaving. But some are staying. Some really wished to make a new start. They don't wish sanctuary. They just wish a new start. Seamstress is one of those. There are others coming. Not all will require sanctuary, but they all require a planet that is capable of creating. So yes, I know what those are. And Douglas said, "So do I." Not easy to deal with, but if you destroy them, some of those out there will be salvageable. Some will not allow you to destroy it. Those you will have to end. Two lawmakers looked, and the other lawmakers looked, and they were sorrowful, but they understood. But they did not have the knowledge to destroy Leslie. And Douglas said, I can give you that. And he said, I require to go talk to the traveler. He went to the traveler and he said, this is my axe. I can give you the blueprint for this axe, but I need 10 of these, possibly more. The traveler said, really? You have, yes, this is that axe. Yes. And you would give me the, yeah, you can have the blueprint, how it's made. I even have the material for you, but I need 10 of them. I need them soon. This that is coming, this is the only thing that's going to shatter those stones. Merchant goes, give me a few minutes. I'll see what I can do. He goes into his wagon. Of course, there's blue flashes and purple explosions. And it takes him a good 30, 40 minutes, but he walks out with 10 of them and he goes, "Whew. I thought that sword of the ladies was pretty potent, but this is even more so. Oh, that sword. Well, that sword will shatter them too. And you've given some of those to us. So with those, we can maybe set some of these free. We'll have to move in shifts. We'll have to see if we can set some sort of barrier between us and the wall, because they'll just hammer on it till it gives." And the city shook. And he went, oh, they're here. He went out and he handed out the axes to where those that didn't have the swords. Don't strike to kill, strike to destroy that stone. Once that stone is gone, they will be in their right mind. The lady here will teleport them as much as she can. We will do what we can, but by the end of this day, we will have a lot of stones to trade, I imagine, unfortunately. And the 10 that had taken him up, the three sages, the dragon, the lady had her own blade, four others with her had theirs. The lawmakers had theirs, and they realized that even their weapons couldn't crack those stones, so they took the axes. Or they were about to when the trader came over and said, I can apply that magic to those weapons. It will hold it. And they said, please do. Then more people can go out and get more free. He disappeared and he was already looking a little singed. He came out looking a lot more singed. There was a lot of blue light and a lot of purple, a couple of pink flashes and a very large bang, but he survived. He stumbled out and he goes, whew, I'm gonna need a minute. Where's that Kit Kat? They all chuckled. They said, well, we need a lot of Kit Kats when we get back. Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll crack a box or two for you. So they went up onto the wall, went down, and they started the process. And they ran into a bunch that did not want to change. They wanted to stay as they were. They liked the power. Gave them many chances they didn't answer or didn't honor. So they were dispatched because they would continue to attack or try to destroy. There was sorrow, but there were a lot that were, once the stone was gone, oh, I seem to have been maddened. Yes, you were. And this thing did that. And it won't do it again. No, they can't do it to you again because we've now set something in its place. Oh, that glow from God. Yes, that glow. And so by the end of the day, A few hundred of the ones outside of the wall were now inside the wall, safe, secure, and actually serving God again. Let's leave it there. So we require a big blessing today. Let's have a big blessing of joy and a big blessing of peace, unspeakable, of course, and unattainable. That's what some people would say. No, 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 we don't need that. We need peace that is attainable, unexplainable, and just so full of God's glory. We require hope of similar measures and all of those creative things that create for us coin and a true wealth that God wishes us to have. And everything else that God wishes to paint, and there will be many things. According to his will and wish, according to your will and wish, this can be. Let's have a prayer. We come before you, O Father, and we just lift this whole situation up to you as you move through it. We know that you are healing all the people that will hear it, even now, even as they start to find it and move towards it. They will find the healing that they seek, and we will leave it there. It is a simple prayer, but we push back the enemy. We leave a place of rest and security for each of them to continue and or build or deepen the relationship they have with you. Courage and strength for each day, and grace and mercy in full measure as required. And we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, standing in awe and honor, respect, allowing all glory to flow. Father, Spirit, Son. This is, and so this is. Amen. So when you wake, wake well. When you rest, rest well. And know that your path is well lit by God. Blessings.